From penguins to science experiments, right?
Yeah, that's right. I love science, but if you're a parent, this time of year often you talk about science fairs, and many of you will likely groan and you have to hear that, yeah, we've got to do some experiments at home, Mom and Dad. We're going to change that for you, make it fun. We're joined this morning by Chris Voight, who is the executive director of the Sacramento Regional Science Fair and Engineering Fair. And Teo, you can totally sympathize because your kids have got some science experiments going on.
I was just explaining before the break, I got to go home and make a balloon lung out of a soda bottle with my son. He's in 5th grade, so not quite as intense as maybe some of the junior high and high school, but it is a pain for parents because, you know, these days homework's harder than when we were kids, and they demand a lot more out of science projects
but
than I think when we were kids.
But there's some benefit though, right, Chris? And that's what you're here to talk about.
Science is fun.
I agree.
Well, our job is to help make science fairs a little easier for kids and for parents, and to really help bring science into the mainstream and to encourage kids to do more science and engineering, culminating in an annual science fair, which we've been responsible for the last 8 or 9 years in Sacramento. It's a lot of fun, a lot of prizes.
Yeah, and you're going to be with us the next several weeks to get parents through this whole science fair thing. You think you see a little bit more boys excited about these kinds of things versus girls? I love science and I love science fairs, but boys versus girls?
Well, it's a good combination. Actually, some of our biggest winners in recent years have been girls.
Really?
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, is this just kind of an example of one of the science projects we got here? Just the name of it makes me want to run and hide. It's called linear regression. Is this just kind of an example of the research you can do and how to make it colorful and visual, right? Is that the key?
This project is from a winner at the senior level, meaning in high school. Okay. But this is not a project necessarily that every kid or many kids would produce. Really, it's about process, about independent thinking, about developing a hypothesis and using the scientific method to come up with some conclusions. So while this is maybe an example of one of the more sophisticated projects, there's something for everyone. And our project and the background we provide can make it a lot easier for kids and for parents.
Okay, so you're going to help us through this process the next several weeks. Give us a little hint. Why did this one win?
Well,
and is it okay for parents to kind of be at home and helping them glue on everything? What would you suggest?
Well, they really can't glue it on. The parents can encourage the kids and help provide materials.
So Teo, you should let your kids just go with the
kids really need
the balloon lung.
In this competition, that we have judges. I have a lot of really good help, and the judges interview the kids. That's part of the process, because it's not just the project, it's the presentation and it's the personal interview that combines to develop winning projects. So it's not just the project itself, but parents are a key element. Parental support and school support is really a key, and we want to see more kids, more parents, more teachers involved.
So I would imagine that if you're a kid at the higher level, like high school, and you're doing a real serious, thorough project such as linear regression, in the interview process, you really want these kids to know what they're doing. They don't just want to have words spit out on paper and glued to a piece of cardboard. You want them to have an idea of kind of what the project is in the process, right?
Yes, and that becomes clear in the interview process. We have really friendly judges with an engineering and science background from Intel, from a couple of the sponsor groups that we have, PEG and CAPS, who are themselves scientists and engineers that interview the kids and learn pretty quickly that they're responsible for the work. And generally, that's not really an issue. The kids that produce the projects are encouraged, follow the process, develop the storyboards, and come up with really great projects.
So this is in March. Before we get to the details on the science fair itself coming up in March, how much would you say this person, a winner, how much time do they put in each week into something like this? And what are the prizes like?
Well, several hours a week, depending on the complexity of the project. We have 2 divisions. One is a junior division, which is 6th through 8th grade, and then a senior division, which is high school. We have a 9-county region that we serve, and it culminates March 26th and 27th with a science fair here at Rosemont High School in Sacramento. The top prizes are an all-expense paid trip to compete in the Intel Science Fair, which this year will be in San Jose, but it's been in cities all over the United States, and there are thousands of competitors that appear at that competition.
All right.
And we've had winners every year.
Very
Wonderful.
good. Well,
Chris
thank you.
Voight from the Sacramento Regional Science and Engineering Fair, which comes up on March the 26th through 27th here in Sacramento. You can find more information at KCRA.com. Chris,
Awesome.
thanks so much. And
Thank you.
you'll be joining us the next several weeks in
We'll
anticipation.
check back. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Adrian?
Took me right back to 7th grade and that big algae project I did. That was fun times. All right, 7:52.